There's all sorts of radio stations these days that you can tune into, but what about the smaller ones? Are they as recognised as the bigger commercial ones? I'm on my way to GTFM in Pontypridd to find out more about community radio and what its purpose is. GTFM have a whole team of volunteers who have kept the station running since it was launched in 2002 as an experiment which has since been a huge success. However, with very little funding, keeping the station on air is a struggle.
And with local stories and stories from across Wales from the GTFM newsroom, I'm Jamie Pritchard. Commercial radio is all about selling adverts, basically getting people to sort of buy into the station and buy the brands that are sold on the station. Community is more about giving a voice to the people that live in the community it serves. So, for example, GTFM, from what I see from other stations in the area, other stations in the country, community radio is seen as sort of the amateur of radio. So you've got hospital radio where you've got anyone can join, anyone can play music. You've got then community radio, which is us guys, which you kind of let some people in, but not everyone. And then you've got commercial radio, which is like the high end of the radio spectrum. And a lot of people see commercial radio as in like fully polished. If something goes wrong, then it's a major disaster. Community radio is a sense of if something goes wrong, then so be it. But it's seen as amateur. It's seen as, oh, they don't know what they're doing. When in fact, if you listen to stations like GTFM and Bro Radio and small stations like that, actually, we do it as well as the commercial radio stations.
It's very hard for stations to stay on air because they have to attract enough money to pay for the operation. For example, we're a registered charity here. You don't have to be a charity to own a community radio licence, but you do have to operate on a not-for-profit basis. In fairness, the commercial stations have been quite supportive of us.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever crossed swords with them, but then we don't compete with a commercial one in this area that's just trying to make a living in this area. Because the thing that should be remembered is commercial stations are not allowed to have grants. You know, they can't be subsidised from the public purse. They have to earn the money from advertising. Yeah. They don't really have the concept of volunteers at all, so that they obviously have to pay the staff that they employ. And a lot of the challenges facing a small commercial station are very similar to the ones we face, except that our volunteers are largely, well, they're free.
So it is sort of worldwide in a sense then, because you can get it on almost with modern technology these days.
I think the technology is helping in the sense that most people have got some kind of modern device now, an app type device. Then they can listen to the station in places where the FM reception isn't so strong, and we might never be able to boost it enough.
Yeah. So it's pretty clear that community radio is just as important as commercial. Even if it isn't as widely heard of, it focuses on local people and giving them a voice. But what's the future for community radio? I'm on my way to see a radio expert who's worked in both community and commercial radio.
Community radio, in my mind, needs to come from the community, needs to be by the community, for the community, from the community. The main theory that I was surprised to discover was so applicable to community radio, in my case in Wales, is a theory by a guy called Howley to do with articulation. If you have your articulated lorry with no load on the back, it's not articulating anything.
No.
It's only when you join the lorry to the load that the two articulate together. And what the community radio stations we'll say in Wales need to do is they need to articulate and re-articulate their connections with other agencies in order not just to survive, but as a means to survival, to be seen and heard to do the things that they're doing. It's through awareness and getting that message out there that the cycle spins round, funds come in, and awareness of what community radio has to offer grows.
There seems to be some struggles and restrictions within community radio, But with the rise of modern technology and communities coming together, it seems that community radio is more alive now than ever.